Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Interest groups in the Niger Delta have called on members of the National Assembly to give accelerated consideration and passage of a bill seeking to provide for payment of 13% derivation funds directly to oil-producing communities. Just like the Petroleum Industry Act, which makes a provision for direct payment of 3% host communities fund to the intended beneficiaries, they have thrown their full weight behind a proposed constitutional amendment to channel the 13% oil derivation fund directly to the coffers of oil-producing communities for their rapid development. Correspondent Chika Bodozie completes the story.
In July this year, a bill seeking to amend the 1999 Constitution to allow for direct payment of 13% derivation fund to oil-producing communities was introduced in the House of Representatives. Member representing Boni Degema Federal Constituency, Honorable Farah Dagogo, who sponsored the bill, accused state governors of wasting over 10 trillion naira derivation fund released between 2000 and 2018 for development of host communities. Ben Nanen, a professor in the Department of History, University of Port Harcourt, supports direct payment of 13% oil derivation funds to host communities.
The Constitution prescribes the 13% derivation without putting in place a mechanism for proper accountability and productive use of that fund. And in essence, it has become like a kind of ATM in the hands of the governors of the Niger Delta states. That 13%, if effectively utilized, will have mitigated the level of poverty and the level of violence in the Niger Delta at the moment.
Chancellor of the International Society for Social Justice and Human Rights, Dr. Jackson Omenazu, would want a speedy passage of the proposed legislation on direct payment of 13% oil derivation fund to host communities.
See, this money goes into the community. Anything they like, let them do with the money. The only thing I can suggest here, federal government will do, is to set up an MOE committee, monitoring and evaluation committee. Who will do this? We gave you such an amount of money. Can we see how you have invested it for the good of the people?
The derivation principle was revisited some 21 years ago to aid development of minerals producing areas, particularly Nigeria's oil producing communities that generate the bulk of the country's export earnings. The proposed law on direct payment of 13% derivation fund is to put a stop to the colossal waste of the fund and address many years of injustice suffered by host communities of oil and gas production in the Niger Delta.
Inside the Niger Delta,